There we go. I was waiting. I'm like, okay, is it going? Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing well. What do we got? Delbert Jones is in the house. Carol Prince, Sharon Barrett, Whispering Pines, Jan Humphreys in the house. DJ's here. Ashnet Prepper, Kathy Size, Same Love. I never got your name right, Kathy. I apologize. JJ's here. Joan T. So, welcome, welcome. Glad to see everybody here. I hope everybody has had a good week. It is Friday. The weather down here today, to put it in a nutshell, has sucked. It's been pretty bad today. We only were in the 40s all day, rain off and on. I think it's raining again now. But I think we're looking at tomorrow's supposed to be much, much nicer. So let me just look at this real quick and I'll tell you. Let's see. Yeah, the rain's supposed to be done here very soon. And then by 5 a.m., we're at a 24% chance. And then by the time we hit 8 o'clock, we're down to a 7%. The sun's coming out by 11 in the morning tomorrow. We're going to actually hit almost 60 degrees tomorrow. So believe me, for a get together weekend, we are ecstatic that it's not going to be raining, the wind's blowing, and it's snowing or anything like that. So really, really happy about that. And then Sunday, we're looking at 76 on Sunday. So we're looking at a good day on Sunday. So yeah, just it seems for whatever reason that every weekend get together that we have over the course of the last 2 years, that the weather has just not been very cooperative. So I'm really looking forward to actually having a nice day tomorrow. Uh, you know, Today, like I said, we're doing some running around and getting prepared for the weekend and all that good stuff. But anyway, all right, before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we are not going to tolerate that. So I just ask you all to be nice in the chat. We'll have a good chat. We'll go from there, and we'll just kind of, you know, just have a good discussion here. So, and we'll share information, and then we will go from there. But yeah, so that's what's happening. But we went today. So the game plan, I just let you guys know ahead of time. Tomorrow, the game plan, we're going to be working on the pavilion. Okay. So the eaves, I want to get those boxed in, all the eaves boxed in. I would like to get the fascia boards on. So that's part of what we want to get done as well. And then I would like to get the gutters hung. So today, we had gone to Lowe's and I got all the pieces that we need. I'm going to have to make a trip back tomorrow to Lowe's because I have to pick up the gutters themselves and then the downspouts themselves. But we got all the other hardware that we're going to need for the project. But we were in Rob's car and we couldn't get them to fit in there. So we're going to I have to take my truck. So in the morning, first thing tomorrow, Mark is gonna. We went yesterday Thursday, and picked up new brake pads for my back brakes. Front brakes are good, back brakes not so much. And they told me that the back brakes were going, but at the time when they told me that, I'm like, nope, not right now. So the back brakes are shot. So we're going to put new back brakes on tomorrow. Once that's done, I'm going to be making a run up to Lowe's and getting the parts that we need. So in the meantime, they're going to have plenty of time to work on getting, uh, you know, the eaves boxed in and getting the fascia boards on and all that. And so by the time I get back, we should be able to get things set up for, you know, for the the gutter system to get the rain catchment set up. Now I will probably also tomorrow go. Yeah, the joys of vehicle ownership. Exactly, Angela. The amount of money that I put into that truck this year in repairs has not been fun. I can tell you that right now. Not been fun at all. But it's part of what you got to deal with when you have a vehicle. So just doing the best I can and getting things taken care of and just kind of going from there. But anyway, I'm going to probably go and stop and pick up spray paint tomorrow as well. I would like to finish off at least the other two. Well, the third tank, the top is done. So I got to finish off that tank, and then I have to spray paint the fourth tank. I would like to get that done tomorrow as well because the hopefully if we get all, and there shouldn't really be very many glitches as far as that goes. We should be able to get all that squared away tomorrow so that we can get the rain catchment set up for the pavilion, get that all done, and that will be, that'll be the major project that we plan on working on tomorrow, and just kind of go from there, and get that squared away, but give you an update on the bees. The bees are doing well. Went up and checked this morning. They had finished off a whole jar of sugar water, so both hives. So I made new jars of sugar water today. Took that up there, switched that out. Not a lot of activity because again, our high temperature today I think was about 47 degrees. So the bees were not active at all, which I don't blame them. But so what I did was I pulled the tops off, and I didn't pull the I pulled the tops off, but there's another thing that we have on there, but it's got like a circle, like like that, and I could see the bee activity. So tomorrow there's two things that have to happen with the bees. If the queens are not out by tomorrow, okay, so I have the other trays that I got to take back up there that'll go back in. If the queens are not out yet, I have to make sure I release the queens tomorrow. So that's one thing that's got to be done. And then the other thing is that the other tray has got to get put back in so the bees can do what they need to do in the hive. So that's the game plan for that tomorrow. So like when Mark is working on the truck in the morning, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll be taking care of the bees then, and I'll probably do a video of that so you guys can see it. So we'll go from there, and we'll get that squared away, hopefully. And but anyway, so that's tomorrow's going to be very busy, but the weather's going to cooperate, and so I'm looking forward to that, and we'll just kind of go from there. But Ronnie just got in tonight. Les just got in tonight. So, and obviously Rob was already here. Mark was already here. They got in early. And so, and then Sandy's going to be here tomorrow. And Bud will be here tomorrow. And Paul and Barbara will be getting in tomorrow. So, and then Cheryl will be here. And, so we'll be just doing what we do and getting things rocking and rolling and just kind of going from there. All right. So, anyway, so that's what's going on right now. We're just getting ready, and it's going to be fun. It's weird. It's work, but it's still going to be fun. We're still going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy each other's company. We'll all have breakfast together, and then we'll just kind of go from there. So, and then we'll get to work and get things taken care of, and that'll be it. So, all right. Let's talk about. I changed the title of the live stream. If you saw originally, my original title was about Biden doing 7.2 billion in student loans, forgiving that, and the question mark was it about votes? So that was the original title, and then when I was online and looking at stuff and looking at what was going on, that's when I changed it to the situation in the Middle East. So we're going to talk about that right now, but I'm going to take a drink first. So it's always about votes. Of course, it's always about votes. just because, finally they do. And this is what kills me too about politicians. And we're going to get into the real topic in just a second. An election year, oh, they want to do all the right things in an election year. What about the other 3 years? Once they're elected, follow through with what your promises are. Do what you say you're going to do. That's kind of what I always say. But I owe 13,000. Please do something, someone. But I have to make a payment since he's in office. Well, the thing is, my take on it is this: I had student loans. Okay, when I went to school, when I went back to school, to nursing school, I took out student loans, and they were 10-year loans. Okay, my payments on those 10-year loans was like $180 a month, something like that. But it was 10 years. Okay, I happily paid those loans because without those loans, I would not have had the opportunity to go back to school to get my education to be able to become a nurse. And so I happily paid those loans off. And my thing is this: just because you decided uh, to go to college for communications, because you decided to go to college for gender studies, because you decided to go to college for basket weaving, or you decided to go to school for art, right? And you ended up racking up all this debt over a course of 4 years, and you came out of your college, experience, and there was no jobs in those fields. Wow, I know it's shocking, or your liberal arts degree. I love that one. That's one of my favorites. Liberal arts degree. Well, you know what? That's your fault. All right, it's your fault. You should pay your loans. That's just my take on it. There shouldn't be, loan forgiveness because you were an idiot. Because your parents push you to go to college. You know, I'll tell you what I got told. I swear to God, this is what I got told when I was a senior in high school. Now, I signed up for the military in January of my senior year. So 6 months before I even graduated, I had already signed up to join the military. Okay, so that was just my thing. But I remember my mom saying to me, "I don't know what you plan on doing once you graduate, but there's no money for college." And college wasn't even something I was thinking about, to be honest with you. Um, it wasn't even a thought in my mind at the time because I just was like, partying. Partying was a thought in my mind, but going to college was not. And I wasn't ready to go to college at that point. I went back to school 10 years after I graduated from high school. That's when I went back to school. So, and when I went back, then I was ready, and that's what I did. But, that's just my experience. I mean, everybody's different. So, anyway, that's just kind of my take on that situation. You make your bed, you have to lie in it. It's your problem. It's not somebody else's, and they shouldn't be dismissing all these loans. That's just my take on it. If it affects you, like I said again, you signed the paper. You said you'll pay it. So it seems like college educated people should be smart enough to figure out how to pay their own debts. Exactly, Dust Devil. Exactly. There might be in the future, maybe they're going to start encouraging kids to go to trade school more than go to college. Would that be a concept that high schools said, hey, listen, yeah, you can go to college, but if you go to trade school, you're going to get paid while you're going to trade school, and you're going to get your education as a plumber, a carpenter, an electrician, any of that type of stuff. And as soon as you do your apprenticeship, you're going to be making big money, and you're not in debt. There's no debt, so that's it's a different concept that's not pushed, unfortunately, in our educational system, and it should be. It should be. But anyway, with that being said, what do we got? 248 in the chat. We're at 106 on the thumbs up, guys. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time for that as well. All right, so now we're going to get into this, what's going on in the Middle East, right? And this is what kills me. This is what kills me, okay? So Israel did a preemptive strike in, I believe it was Lebanon. There was uh, high-ranking Iranian targets that they targeted in Lebanon, and they killed them. They, with a missile strike, right? Well, Iran has said we're going to get revenge. They will pay for this. Blah 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 blah. You have the United States and other countries basically saying, don't do it. Hold your horses, and all that type of stuff. You don't want this to escalate. Now, as you guys know, I am very pro-Israel, right? With the situation with Hamas. But in this instance, I will say this, okay? They are the ones that initiated the strike against Iranian targets in Lebanon. So if there is an escalation from that, that does fall in the lap of Israel. And I'm sorry to say that because, again, I am a supporter of Israel, but the fact that the United States, that other countries are saying to Iran, don't do nothing, don't retaliate, and all this type of stuff. Now, there's credible intel. Was it Syria? Okay, Troy, thank you. I appreciate that. It was Syria? All right. Yeah, they took out 2 Iranian generals. Okay. But it was Syria, not Lebanon. Thank you. I wasn't 100% sure. Okay. So there's credible intel that within the next 48 hours that Iran is going to do something as a retaliatory strike against Israel, right? Which, in my opinion, again, is strictly my opinion, they have every right to do, realistically, okay? Because of what Israel did, right? I mean, when the shoe is on the other foot, it doesn't work. You don't just keep going, oh, yeah, they're good, they're good, they're good, everything is beautiful, right? You can't. You have to call a spade a spade. If it's a spade, it's a spade. So, in this instance, what Israel did, was outside the bounds of what they should have been doing. So I get where Iran is pissed. And again, there's credible intel that is saying that Iran will retaliate. Well, what is the United States response, right? So we're all of a sudden with the whole Hamas and the West Bank and stuff. We've kind of backed off on that, and we're talking and saying, well, Israel needs to ease up and blah 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 blah, right? But in this case, we are moving assets. This is what has been told. Okay, the United States is moving more assets into the Middle East. What does that mean? Right? We putting more troops in the area? Are we putting more ships in the area? Are we making sure we have plenty of planes in the area? They're not exactly saying what the assets are, but we are putting more assets into the Middle East as a deterrent because if Iran attacks Israel, we will respond. That's what we're saying. Okay. We're backing Israel on this type of situation. But in this type of situation, and I'm being very clear on this, guys, Israel's in the wrong. Israel is in the wrong for what they did. So, should they expect retaliation? Of course they should. Of course they should. Again, let me just say this to be very, very clear. This is not our business. This is not our business. We need to stay out of it. Now, I think it was Blinken was talking about we need to make sure that Israel has the arms that they need to defend themselves, right? Remember, I talked about I think it was in the last live stream. I might have talked. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the one before that. Maybe it was last Sunday. I talked about it. But I had talked about that big arms deal that we're sending billions of dollars worth of missiles to Israel, right? And if you guys saw during the week, You had Pelosi and other Democratic politicians saying, oh, we should hold off. We shouldn't be sending them any kind of more armaments until things are taken care of. And what did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys? I said, there's no way that they will hold up that shipment because war is business. War is business, okay? And they're not going to stop that arms shipment from going there. And because of what's going on with the whole situation with Iran and Israel right now, I guarantee you, again, there's not going to be a holdup of these weapons. They're going to get shipped. And they're going to use that as the justification. Well, Iran is saying that they're going to do this, that, and this, and we need to make sure that Israel can defend themselves, right? I mean, it's a big game that's been going on for a long time, and at the end of the day, who profits, right? The military industrial complex profits. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Big business has got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. There's a lot of money, on a table. When you're talking billions of dollars for bombs and stuff like that and missiles to be able to attack their enemy, I want you to think about, and I would hate to think what the number is, the number of missiles that Israel has already used against Hamas, right? Where do you think they got those missiles from, folks? Where do you think they got those missiles from? They got them from us, all right? They got them from us. So, again, it's a situation, it's a very volatile area of the world, no matter what, anyway. And so, do I think Iran wants to tangle with the U.S.? I do not think that they want to tangle with us. They may talk a big game, just like North Korea talks a big game, but North Korea and Iran both know they're smart enough. There's enough smart people in there to know that you don't want to mess with the U.S. because they're not going to win. They are not going to win. Hamas has said that all of the captive hostages are dead. You know what? And that wouldn't surprise me, Okie Forge. So going back to the hostages, as far as them talking about, a plan to release the hostages, Israel had a list of 40 people that they said they wanted to be the first ones to be released by Hamas. And Hamas came back and said, oh, we don't have those people. It would not shock me, and I don't know if I hadn't heard that Hamas said that all the captives or hostages are dead, but it would not shock me if all the hostages were dead by this point. It would not surprise me at all. So, but Israel's going to do. See, listen. So here, at the end of the day, all right, regardless of what we say, regardless of what any other country says, Israel's going to do what Israel's going to do. They're a free country. They have the right to do what they want to do. If there are targets that they're targeting, it's just like with Iran's nuclear program, right? We were supposed to be doing all these things to make it not happen and blah, 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 blah. And it never stopped. And there was issues, and Iranian scientists turned up dead. And there was problems with the nuclear plants where they were doing it. There was issues there. Well, you know darn well who was behind that. Israel was behind that because they can't allow Iran to get nuclear weapons. They can't. They will, and I get it, and I understand why. Don't get me wrong, because that whole region of the world would like to see Israel wiped out. I have to laugh. I gotta tell you, this is what I laugh about. Okay, you have our administration trying to appease a group of people in Michigan, in the Dearborn area, that is sitting out there chanting, death to the United States, right? Death to Israel, from the river to the sea, right? You kept hearing that one, to the river to the sea. Well, what that means is they want to see Israel wiped out. So, how are you trying to even appease those people? Why are they even here? If you don't like it here, and you don't like our policies, and you don't like where our government stands with Israel, then why are you here? You know, go back to Somalia and see how that works out for you. You know, it's amazing to me the hypocrisy of a lot of these people, and a lot of people are too stupid, realistically, to realize. So here's the other one that I saw. This is another one that I saw. They said, and again, folks, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up. When they said that people in the gay community were supporting Hamas, right? And a Republican politician pointed out an obvious fact that those people in the gay community that were supporting Hamas, they said if you were over there, they would throw you off a building and they would kill you. What did the Democrats come back and say? Saying that, saying that is homophobic and racist. So my question would be, if you're sharing a fact, and that is a fact, the Muslims do not like homosexuals, they do not like lesbians, and they will kill them if they figure out that somebody's lesbian or homosexual, right? They'll kill them. How is pointing out a fact racist or homophobic? I'm curious. I don't know. You know what I mean? And first of all, what kind of moron supports, if you are in that community, what kind of moron supports people that would kill you for your lifestyle? Does that make any kind of sense? Does that make any kind of sense at all? You know, but they'll still continue to do what they're going to do. You know, and I just saw protesters over in the UK at the Ministry of Defense. They like jumped the fence and sprayed red spray paint on the building. Sprayed red paint all over the building. And of course they were arrested, and they're chanting and doing all that they do. Well, put them in a hole somewhere. Let's see how they like that for a while. People are morons, folks. They really are. You can protest, have at it, knock yourself out, protest all you want. You don't have to do destructive acts to get your point across. If you guys saw too the idiots of the green movement, they went in and like threw tomato soup on the Mona Lisa. I don't get it. I don't understand where the mindset is. I really don't. And I know young people are passionate about whatever cause that they're into and that they believe in, but they really should educate themselves better. They really should. That's just my take on it. I don't know. I find it very, very interesting. Connor walks though not around. I am Palestine and but anti-Hamas. Yeah, Hamas is not a good organization. It's been proven, obviously, you know. And thank you for making that statement, Connor. I do appreciate that. And and don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's a ton. I've said this before, guys, and I'll say this again. There's good people all around the world, but when you have bad people in charge of stuff and they do stuff that is not what the majority of people want, but you have to go along with it. They did it because of the oil paint, but it's made from linseed oil. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. It's just ridiculous, people. Hey, Josh, you are so spot on in the way you think, man. We need more in the world. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Josh. I really do. And thank you so much for the donation as well. Thank you. But we need to get things figured out, folks. And I've said it, and I'll say it at the end of the stream, like I say it at the end of every one of my videos. We got to come together as human beings and tell these people that are really, the ones that are in charge, enough is enough. We don't want this. This is not what we want. We don't want to be at war. We don't want to be killing each other. We don't want to kill our our brothers and sisters across the pond because they look different than us, because they speak different than us, because they have a different religion than us. Let them live in their peace. We live in our peace. And that's what it should be. And if we ever, like I said, if we ever came together as human beings and said, no more of this nonsense, we want our money, our billions and trillions of dollars to be spent on good things, right? Here's the thing, nobody in the world should be starving. Nobody. We have enough land in the world where we could grow enough crops to feed everyone. To feed everyone. Okay. We have, all water's in short supply. Horse crap. That's crap. Okay. It's absolutely garbage. Every storm that rolls through in any part of the country, there's excess water. Catch it, store it, have it, right? Then you have it when you have the dry season. I mean, look what California was in a drought for how many, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. Very little water. They were limiting what they could do with their water. Last year and this year, they've had a complete surplus of water from the storms, from the rains and stuff like that. And what are they doing with that water, folks? They're opening up the valves and letting it go right into the ocean because they got too much. Now, how stupid is that? Realistically, how stupid is that? Does that make any kind of sense? When you have parts, how about this? Here's a thought. Divert that water. You got what they got the in Nevada, they got, you got the dams up there. You could fill that water up. They could take a lot of water in those areas, reroute it, ship it up there, you know, fill up those reservoirs. There's no reason that we should not have plenty of water. There's no reason that in Arizona, for an example, that gets a lot of their water shipped down from the Colorado and stuff like that, right? There's no reason that we should be like, oh no, we can't do it anymore. We don't have enough water. All these places. Look at Seattle. Let's look up in that area. All right, state of Washington. Let's talk about the state of Washington. How much water does the state of Washington get? They get a ton. They get a ton of water every year. They way more, I think, and I don't know for sure, but I know they get a lot. Maybe not more than Florida. Florida's another spot, right? Florida, it could rain every single day in Florida. I mean, the sun comes out and it's nice, but you're going to get rain. Why aren't you collecting that water? Why aren't you shipping that water to where it can do good, to help irrigate crops, to grow crops? You know what I'm saying? So you have all these things that could happen, it could be done, right? And be, oh, well, it'll cost too much money. But we have trillions for war, trillions, right? So what if it cost 5 or 10 or 20 billion dollars? So what? Number one, you're going to put a ton of people to work. You're going to put a ton of people to work getting that to build that, right? So now you got that. That's a positive. And what are they going to do with their money? All these people that are working on those pipelines and stuff like that, they're going to spend their money locally, wherever they're at, wherever they're building. They're going to spend that money locally. Now you have the water to be able to grow the crops, to be able to irrigate and do all the things that you need to do in different areas. There's no reason. There's no reason that people should be starving anywhere in the world. If we have the money that we have for wars, we should take that money and use it for good. And there's so much good that we could do. They'll never do it because it's always about a couple of different things. It's about power and it's about control. If they can control us, I mean, you look at the way food prices have gone up, folks. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity how the food prices have gone up, and it ain't going to change. It's only going to get worse. Again, I've said this before in other videos. I'll say it right here and right now. Stock up while you can. Stock up while you can, because we just don't know. When that other shoe drops, and all of a sudden, yeah, no more shipments of anything's coming. Then people are going to want to stock up, but then it's going to be too late. So if you can do it now, even on a small scale, even on a small scale, folks, rice, beans, all those type of things, water, get water back up and all that type of stuff. Do it. Get it squared away. I mean, like I had told you guys in earlier streams earlier this year, as a group, we got together in January and we sat down and we talked about things. And I said then, our number one priority this year, other than working on the bunker is going to be a priority always, is rain catchment, getting rain catchment set up, getting water set up, and getting that ready so that we can be able to store water. It's huge. It's such a huge commodity. And one rainstorm, one good, like this storm that we had that came in last night, and it's been raining off and on all day long today. It rained heavy last night. I'd fill those tanks in a heartbeat. It would fill those tanks in a heartbeat, you know, with absolutely no problem. And then when you have a period, which we will hit again this year, we had a period last year where we had probably 2 inches of rain in a 3 month period of time. It was the summer, it was a dry area time. We didn't get a lot of rain. So if you have that water stored up and you're ready to go, you have the advantage. You go, well, I don't care. We got plenty of water, right? And then when it does rain, you're going to get a good amount of rain, filling your tanks up again. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's an easy fix if we all do it together. If we do it together, and that's why with what we're doing down here, this is an example. This is really an example of what happens when a group of like-minded people come together and say and put aside all the egos, put aside all the, well, this is not my property and I'm not doing, like I get all the time. I'll get people will say, oh, you got a bunch of people doing stuff on your property, it's for you. It's not just for me, it's for them as well. When the time comes, where do you think they're going to go, folks? They're coming here. They're coming here. We got to be able to take care of our stuff here. So if we have things in place and we have our infrastructure in place and we got our rain catchment set up and we have 20. So I'm going to figure this out real quick and I'll tell you exactly what the number is. Okay. So this is just to give you an idea. So let me see, calculator. So we have 20 275 gallon tanks. That's 5,500 gallons of water. Okay. Now I know Bud already had 2 tanks at his place. So there's another 550 gallons of water there. So that's over 6,000 gallons. We have just in water storage containers, plus I have the other tank here, which is another 275. We're going to have over 6,000 gallons of water available to us. Michael or Michelle said, "Is it drinkable, or do you have to add something to make sure the tanks to purify?" Any water that's going to be drinking, Michelle, is going to go through. Like I have my Berkey. Actually, I'll just click this around real quick, and I'll show you. Right there's my Berkey. Okay. Other people have water purification as well. Water for washing dishes, showering, that type of stuff. That doesn't have to be purified. But any water that's going to be used for cooking, any water that's going to be used for drinking, does need to be purified. So that's the way we're going to do that. But if you have 6,000 gallons of water on hand, you know, you're in pretty good shape. And if all these different, buildings have their own systems set up, they're going to be in much, much better shape. And that's what it's about. Not only that, we have the well and we have 2 springs on the property. So, it's, it's just a way to go. Above ground pool is cheaper than tanks and can hold thousands of gallons of water. You're right. Absolutely, John. You can do that as well. It all depends on what you want to do. Obviously, we don't have an in-ground pool up here. We have other priorities than putting in an in-ground pool. So we have gone the way that we have gone, and it's all about preparation. It's putting yourself in a position that when the time comes, you are not going to be like, oh my God, what are we going to do now? That's what it does. It's all it does. And it's just smart, you know. I've told you guys this before, and I'll say this again. Everything is a game. It's all a game. And I like to win. When I play a game, folks, I don't play a game because I enjoy playing a game. I play the game to win. And what we're doing down here is preparing for the game. The game's coming, if you like it or not, if you prepare or not, that game is coming. And I want to win. And what do you win in the game? You get to live, right? It's not about just surviving. This is another misconception that people have. I've had people say, "Oh, well, I wouldn't want to survive, if the world ended and there was no power and blah blah blah. I wouldn't want to live in a world like that." Well, you go ahead and you give up, okay? I don't just want to survive. I want to thrive on the other side of that. And that's what we're doing here. We are putting the pieces in place when the time comes to be able to survive on the not only survive but also to thrive on the other side. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So, just something to think about. Just sharing information. You can do whatever you want to do. I will tell you something that I thought was really interesting. Joe from St. Bernard Acres, right? You guys might know who Joe is. Joe was real big on not being part of a group. I'm not going to have a group. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I don't want a group. I don't want a group. I don't want a group. In the last conversation I had with him was probably 3, 4 weeks ago. We were talking, and he was reading a book, and he said to me, he goes, "You know what, Ed? I got to tell you something." And I go, "What's that?" After reading this book and listening to what you were saying and stuff like that, he goes, "I really think a group is a good idea." Imagine that. You know, if you think about things, if you process things, if you look at the information and realize the importance of a group, all right, it's not just about having a bunch of people to do stuff. It's not just about that. You're going to need a bunch of people to do stuff, but it's that safety in numbers, it's that camaraderie, it's that brotherhood and sisterhood with like minded people that are on the same page as you, and you got them working together, and you're all like going, okay, we're going to do this because this is for the greater welfare of the group. Mark and Rob came down early because they wanted to have a couple days to work on their buildings. Okay. And that's what they've done. The last 2 days, they've worked on their buildings. Tomorrow is a group day. We will work on group projects. In the evening, when we're done, if they want to go work on stuff on their place, they're more than welcome to. But during the day tomorrow, we will be working on group projects. Sunday, we will be working on group projects. After that, they can do whatever they want to do. If somebody says to me, "Hey, Ed, I'm going to stay, a couple of days extra because I want to work on my place," you know what I say? "Hey, good, go ahead, do knock yourself out." Again, getting things squared away, getting things put in place. Like today was, I think our high temperature today was 47 degrees, and it's like 42 degrees out right now. It's chilly and it's damp, and the weather's not great. Well, guess what? Mark is sitting in the deer blind. He has a fire going. He's warm. He's comfortable. He's got his setup, so he's got lights and he's got all that type of stuff set up, and he's good to go, right? But it didn't happen overnight because 2 years ago this month, April, we had the initial get together where I invited a bunch of people to come down to see if they wanted to be part of a group and stuff like that. Mark was here for that get together. He slept outside in a tent on the hill. We had snow on the ground the next morning. So that Saturday, there was snow everywhere. And that's how he started out. 2 years later, he has his own cabin and he's got a heat source and he's working on other projects. He's now working on other things that he wants to do for his area where he's at down there. And I think that that's awesome, you know. But again, it didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like poof and there it is, you know. So the professor and Marianne here on Ed's Homestead. Well, again, you get like-minded people. You have everybody is putting in their input, and we talk about things and we analyze things and we go, yep, this will work. Nope, that won't work. All those type of things. That's all part of it. It's all part of it, and it comes together, and it's great. So, but anyway, what do we got? 297 in the chat. We're at 189 on the thumbs up, folks. So again, real quickly, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. I thank you ahead of time for that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. The more interaction, the better. So also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that ahead of time. So I'm going to need a drink real quick. All right. Egg count time. How many eggs today? And yes or no for the white hen. I'll give you guys a minute to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. So, we'll give you guys a moment, and I will let you know who the winner is. 2 days ago, I got 6 eggs. Yesterday, I had 5 eggs, and the white hen did lay both of those days. Obviously, on the 6-egg day, she laid. But yesterday, I had 5 eggs yesterday. So we'll do our count today here in just a moment. I'll let you guys get your guesses in, and we will go from there. All right, we have a repeat winner today. So if you have never won before, then it is not you. Dale from Ohio. If you had the same exact guess as Dale from Ohio with 3 eggs today and yes for the white hen, then you are 100% correct. So congratulations, Dale. You are the winner. You've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. And I think that's got to be like your 3rd or 4th win, to be honest with you. So, oh, Sean's late. Sorry, forgot what day it is. See how you are, Sean? Not paying attention. Not good. Attention to detail, young man. But again, I tried to give you guys a hint in a little bit in the beginning. Cold day here at the homestead today. Weather was miserable. It was raining all day. Not sure how many. I think it's at least 3 or 4, Dale. At least 3 or 4 that you've won now. But just a miserable day. So that I only got the 3 eggs, I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. Have you started any vegetable seedlings? No, not yet. No, not yet. We're waiting. Honestly, we're waiting on the weather to turn. I'm hoping that like tomorrow's the first day of that turnaround. We're looking at fairly decent weather next week. So I'm hoping that we're getting to that point where we're going to start actually getting some good weather. And tomorrow, I do believe one of the things that we do plan on doing, I'll show you real quick. One of the things that we're going to be doing. So along with the bees and making sure the queens are out tomorrow, in that we are going to be planting asparagus. We're going to pick out an area, and I already have an area in mind, but we're going to be getting asparagus in the ground. Really important. Asparagus takes 3 years before you can harvest asparagus. Okay, so your first 2 years, you don't harvest any. You just let it go, let it do its thing. It will take over an area, which is exactly what you want it to do. And it's a perennial. It'll come back year after year after year. The egg count, Lori, was 3 eggs and yes for the white hen today. So, but so that's one of the things. I do want to get this area up here rototilled as well by the truck. So, what do you recommend for combating flooding? Clay bed in the yard. Okay. Yeah, Sean, I'll give me a holler after the stream. We'll talk about that afterwards. We'll talk about that. But I love asparagus too. It's really good for you. And again, it's something that if you get planted, get an area, make sure it stays free of weeds, take care of it. One of our raised beds up in New York has asparagus in it. And, I'm sure I don't know what it did last year because I really didn't pay attention, but I'm sure that's doing well. And the concept is that entire bed is going to be dedicated for asparagus. So that's that area hopefully will do well and it'll keep growing and they will have asparagus for eons to come. So that's all part of that as well. One of the things. What do you plan on naming the white hen? I'm not 100% sure yet, Angela. I might call her Cracker. How about that? Maybe I'll call her Cracker. Or is that racist? If a white guy calls a white hen Cracker, I don't know. I like Cracker better, Mars Gold. Saltine. Yeah, call her Saltine. Whispering Pine says that's racist. How is that racist? I named my black hen Wheezy after a black character on the Jeffersons. So John McGill says, "Where's the Cheez-Its? Too expensive, John." Oh no, you're fine, Whispering Pines. I know you're fine. I'm just messing. Um, you know, I always laughed when I got called Cracker. I was like, oh, I'm so offended. Give a crap. Call me whatever you want me to call me. I don't even care. Just don't call me late for dinner. That's important. And have I been called Cracker? Yes, I have. Yes, and I just laughed when that was done. I just laughed because it shows what that showed to me was ignorance. That's all it is. It's just ignorance. So, but yeah, I might name her. I don't. I'm not sure what I'm going to name her yet, but Cracker would be funny. That would be funny. Call her Casper. Ignorance leads to fear. Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you. What you have to feel for those type of people, to be honest with you, Troy, is pity. That's the only thing you can feel for them. I don't feel hate. I don't feel anger. That's why I laugh because I just they're ignorant. So you just got to feel sorry for those type of people, regardless of what color they are. If they harbor hate in their hearts and they want to call people names, you just have to feel sorry for them. So youngsters today would have a coronary watching All in the Family or the Jeffersons. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, they would go. They would lose their minds. They would lose their minds. But like I said, like I said, my thing is I treat people the way I want to be treated until they prove to me they don't deserve to be treated that way, and then I don't have nothing to do with them because I don't have the time or the energy to waste on those type of people. Um, I want people to be decent. If you're not decent, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't care what color you are. I'll call her Betty. Yeah, I'd call. How about that? Yeah, after Betty White, I could call her. I would just call her Betty. That's actually not bad. I like that. And then her last name can be White. Yeah. You know what? I'll tell you what. That's that. Okay, we just named the white hen. I like that, Betty. We're gonna. She will be Betty from now on. That's awesome. Thank you. So you have the props for that name for the white hen. Now we got to figure out a name for the gray hen. What are we gonna name the gray hen? So Betty for forever now shall be the white hen. So when I say, and did Betty lay today? Then you guys will know that I'm talking about the white hen. Yeah, we're gonna have to come up with a name for the gray hen then. 50 Shades. Oh my God, that's funny. No, like I said, they're awesome. The chickens are awesome. I have so much fun with them. I really really enjoy them. Call the gray one dust. Color Stewie. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. If something jumps out with me, I'll figure something out. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So, but anyway, going back to talk. Let's go back. Let's talk some more about the Middle East, folks. It's a hotbed right now. Very, very volatile situation. And who knows if the intel's correct or if it's BS? I don't know. You know what I mean? All I know is we are moving more assets into the Middle East. That's what we've been told. How the amount of those assets, they're not going to tell us because they don't want our enemies to know what the amount of those assets are going to be. But I am sure that we're putting things in place more to be a deterrent than anything else. But we have Israel's back. That's the fact. Okay. So as much as this other stuff that's gone on here in the United States, and the protesters and those that are not happy with, and again, I don't get why that people think that the United States can say to Israel, stop attacking, don't do that. You know, do we have some influence? I'm sure that we do. Okay. But who are we to tell another country how they should defend themselves or what they can and cannot do? So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just don't get it. Some of my hens are 7 years old and still laying eggs. I talked to Becky, and Thick Neck up in New York is still laying. Now that the weather has gotten warmer, she is laying eggs again, and she's getting up there. I do not know how old she is, because she was already grown when I got her. And how many years ago was that? That's got to be 5, 6 years ago now, something in that range. You know, but Ryan said she's been laying all winter too. She wasn't, Ryan or Sean. I'm sorry, she wasn't laying in the winter. Here and there, maybe, but usually she takes the winters off. She normally don't lay in the wintertime. But I don't know if you guys saw. Obviously, I'm sure most people did by this point that O.J. Simpson passed away at 76. Prostate cancer, from what I understand, which is not a pleasant way to go. And of course, all the memes are coming out. Very inappropriate, but also very, very funny. So there was like, it's too early to make fun of OJ's, Simpson dying. Maybe tomorrow I'll take a stab at it. I saw that one, which I thought was funny. Um, yeah, sadly, his legacy won't be his football career. My favorite one that I saw, I said, OJ can rest easy now knowing that his wife's killer is dead. That type of stuff. But yeah, I just, like I said, the only people that know for a fact who killed OJ's wife is OJ's wife. Um, you know, and if OJ did it, then he knows. You know what I mean? So sad situation, terrible thing that happened. If he got away with it, then unfortunately, it just goes to show that money can get people out of anything. So yeah, neighbor Bob, if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. Oh, they were good. They were slick. They were absolutely slick. But at the end of the day, his ex-wife and that other guy are still dead. So unfortunate situation. So yeah, Ron Goldman was the other one. Yep, yep. So, but like I said, it's all water under the bridge. He got acquitted and he got to walk free. Now they got him. He ended up going to prison for something else. But again, great football player. You know, so unfortunate thing. But there's that old saying, folks. Jealousy is the green-eyed monster, and it's not a healthy thing. It is not a healthy thing. So, you know, yeah, that was after the Rodney King riots. Yep, yep. Yeah, it was crazy. That's for sure. A lot of volatility. A lot of Well, you look at even a couple of years back here, folks. During the first election between Trump and Biden. Look what was going on that summer. It was insanity. You know, so no, I think people are getting to a point where they've had enough. To be honest with you, of the nonsense that's what's allowed to get done and all that type of stuff. So I saw OJ play in person. I was really young. Yeah, yeah. He was a great football player. Like I said, I never take that away from him. Never take that away from him. But that never justifies doing what happened if he did it. And I'm not saying he did, and I'm not saying he didn't because I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, I have my opinion, but what is that? I wasn't there, so I can't say I know for sure that this is the result. I don't. So, but all right, we got to do shout outs, guys. Look at me getting behind again. So before we do shout outs, I just want to remind everybody again, we got 257 in the chat. We got 230 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms. Also, if it really makes all that pushes us up higher. So also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications, and I thank you ahead of time for that as well. All right, I'm going to get a drink first. All right, we're going to start out Heavenly Hills Homestead. That is Ryan growing giant vegetables. Good guy. It'll be interesting to see what he does this year, and a lot of fun. There is Icky Can up in Canada, living off grid up there, doing his thing. Good guy as well. Really looking forward to seeing what he does up there this year. You have Angry Prepper. That is Jason. Jason's another good guy. Definitely squared away, so definitely check him out as well. There is Alaska Prepper. That's Rudy up in Alaska. Again, another just a lot of these people are just so squared away that they really are. There's Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy. Unbelievable builder, always building something, working on new projects, and really cool to watch him do what he does. And he's living off grid up in Canada, so very interesting. There is Demcad, another good guy. A lot of good info on his channel. You have Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. You have Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. A very interesting story. Excuse me. A lot of good information on there. You can pick up tips from those stories, which I think is important. You have Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast doing their thing out there. Definitely worth to listen to as well. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That's Cody. Cody's got a lot of information as well, a lot of good information on his channel. Definitely worth a listen to. There is Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at you from Europe, giving you all the latest information of what's going on over there. Really interesting to see what she has to say. There's Kyle's Cabin, Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota doing their thing up there. Nice young couple, living off grid and doing their thing up in Minnesota. Let's see, where are we? Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband wife team. They've been around a long time. A lot of good information on their channel. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Definitely worth to listen to. You have Green Greg's making the move out to Arizona. There is Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series, a really interesting series. A lot of good things on there as well. There is Gray Man Prepping. You have Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have another channel that's been around for a long time. A lot of good information on their channel as well. You have the nomadic movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there doing their thing down in Panama. Definitely interesting to watch their progress. They also live off grid. There's the Green Dream Project. They are out in Arizona, living in the desert, showing you what it takes to live in the desert. Very interesting to see what they're doing. You have Camping with Steve, Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping. Real good guy, very interesting to watch what he does. You can actually pick up some tips from his stealth camping to try to, if you have to move and not be noticed and keep a low profile, he gives some pretty good tips with all of that. There's Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There's the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time, dealt with a lot of adversity. Good lady, a lot of good information on her channel. There is Boss of the Swamp, another master builder. Very interesting to watch him and what he's projects that he's working on and stuff like that. Very cool. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch project. Diamond is a good guy. A lot of good information on his channel. Anything you want to know about the Grand Solar Minimum, check him out because he's the guy with that information. There is Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Again, really straight shooter. I like her. She says it like it is. A lot of good information on her channel. You have City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer giving you all the information of what's going on with the sun, the solar flares and everything like that. A lot of really interesting stuff on that channel. You have Bear Independent, the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear coming at you from the Canary Islands in La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley is going to give you all the latest updates of what's going on with earthquakes around the world, but especially with Yellowstone and all that information. Very interesting to see what she has to say. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. There's Truth Be Told with Tara. If you're going to get your weather, folks, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall-Y'all. Ryan Hall-Y'all is really passionate about the weather, but he also gives back to the community in a huge way. A lot of respect for him. Really like his channel a lot. There's also Russell Brand. Russell Brand's got some controversy, obviously, but I like Russell Brand. I think he's got a good channel. He gives you the information. He lets you decide what you want to do with it. So I like that part of that. There's Deep South Homestead, another very family-friendly oriented channel, and definitely check them out as well. Let's see, where was I? The Outsider up in Maine. Nice young man up there doing his thing up in Maine. Really interesting to watch his progress as well. There's Betting on Alaska. The son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. 18-year-old young man starting his journey up in Alaska to live off grid. Cut him some slack, but check him out as well. I think he's a nice young man. There is the Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel. Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's. Townsend shows you what it's like to live in the 1800s. I think we should listen to that, get some good tips off of that. It could help you down the road. Okay. There is the Prepared Mind. You have Pinball Preparedness. Pinball's a good guy as well, down in Tennessee, giving daily information updates. There's East Tennessee Preparedness. You have the Economic Ninja. And last but not least, Little House Off Griddy. A lot of good channels out there, and they're also in Tennessee. A lot of good channels, a lot of good information out there. I do believe that we should be supporting each other. I think it's important that we do so. We are a small niche community, and so, and I know other people in the chat put other channels that they like in the chat, which is perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. So what are we at? 242. We got to hit. Let's say 260. That's 18 more thumbs up, guys. Let's see if we can hit 260 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel again. And I appreciate that. It really does make a huge difference, again, with the algorithms. So the more interaction, the better for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So the goal is 260, and we're at 244, so we need 16 more. All right, just for fun, because why not? Let's see if we can do that. Anyway, I'm going to always continue to encourage you to continue to prep. I think it's so important that you make every step that you can possibly make to make it sure that you are not victims. When the time comes, I don't want you guys to be victims. Ed, how do you like those shredded wheat with the icing? They're good, Mary. They're actually very good. No, I like them quite a bit. So, but again, don't be victims. Continue to prep. Continue to get ready. Put yourselves in situations to win, because I'm telling you, it's a game. It's always a game. So, like I said, I love to win games, and that's my goal, is to win. So, I hope you guys are not victims. I would hate to see you have to be in lines with thousands of other people waiting for your handout. If you put yourself in a situation where you don't have to do that, that gives you an advantage. Okay, so just putting that out there. So what are we at? 249. So 11 more, guys. 11 more thumbs up to get to 260. All right, let's do this. We are Legion. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? Where is everybody from tonight? And we're the good Legion, not the bad Legion. We got Okie Forge in Nowhere, Oklahoma, Angela in Tucson, Arizona, Central Ohio or Iowa with Robert, BC, Canada with Janet, Connecticut with T, Franklin County, Ohio with Comet Moon, Troutman, North Carolina with Troy, Northern Virginia with Base Logic, Inverness, Florida with Collide in the house, Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert, Pacific Northwest with Tess, Northern Texas with Colleen, California with Lori, Leesburg, Florida with Joan, Off-Grid Living in the Missouri Ozarks, Southern Connecticut with Bob, Ontario, Canada with Dave, Upstate New York with Bob, different Bob, Full of Hope coming across the pond in Ireland. We got Nana up in Colorado, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada with Joyce, sunny California with Denise. We got Maine in the house with Mary, East Central Illinois with Ranger, Sean the Englishman from Chatham, Ontario, Canada, Barrysburg, New York with Rat, Eustis, Florida with Simple Man, Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. We got Dust Devil coming at us out of Texas, West Central Ohio with Dale. So we got New Hampshire's in the house with Brenda. DePage County, Illinois with Carolyn. Hello. But again, folks, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that can truly make a difference now, and we can make a difference after an event by teaching and helping other people. It's your choice afterwards, but I think it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of an obligation. I want to try to help people if I can. I'm not just giving handouts. I will try to educate and help people. And so we'll see how that, yes. Can I assist you in some way? She is a big child. What? You are fine. So, anyway. So, wait. Okay, you got to stop. Go on down now. That's enough. We got 253 on the thumbs up. We need 7 more, guys. 7 more thumbs up to hit 260. Let's see if we can hit that number. But again, just do the best that you can, folks. That would be my advice to anybody. Prepping, even on a small scale, will make a difference in the long run. A little bit at a time will add up, and that's important as well. And I showed that with that series that I did, prepping on a budget. I took $10 a week, and I showed you I did 12 weeks, and I showed you how quickly things can and add up in that period. So anybody can do that. They really can. So anyway, we're at 258. We need 2 more, guys. 2 more thumbs up to hit 260. When she moans right next to the mic, it's loud. Yeah, because the mic is right here, and she was right here. So yeah, I'm sure that was quite loud. I'm sure that was quite loud. But anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. They are amazing ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me. I do appreciate what you do. It keeps the chat in a good way so that we don't have to deal with people coming in and acting stupid. So it's very much appreciated. And I thank you very much for that. I want to thank all you guys for being here and supporting the channel. It really does make a big, big difference, and I do appreciate the support. Yeah, we're at 263 right now, so we got past 260, so that's awesome. I really appreciate that everything you guys do, following the channel and following our journey down here in West Virginia. It's a long journey. There's a long way to go. We've made amazing progress so far. There's a lot of things that we want to continue. This year's an important year, not only with people getting, more buildings in here, but also getting more infrastructure done. Like I said, the rain catchment is a big one, a real big one. And so, we get that squared away, then we can move on to other projects that we need to do. And, we're going to get there. We're absolutely going to get there. But I do appreciate you all following the journey. It has been a lot of fun. It is a lot of work. I'm not going to lie about that, but it's coming together. The road is in such better shape than it was a year ago. It's in ridiculous amounts of much better shape than it was 2 years ago. So it's one of those things that just it takes time. So anyway, guys, looks a lot different than the last year. You can definitely see progress. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. Yeah, we've gotten a lot done. We've gotten a lot done, and it's just gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep growing, because that's the goal. And hopefully, we have enough time that we can get everything that we need to get in place and be ready. That's all we're gonna try to do. So, anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here for now. Remember, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. If we could ever figure that one out, if we could come together as human beings and stop letting them divide us, they use race, they use religion, they use political affiliation. All those things mean absolutely nothing. We have to come together as human beings to be able to take care of the things that we need to take care of. We can do that, we're going to be in better shape. Also, remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Very, very important to do that. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do in life, you can do it if you set realistic goals that you can reach and then set about to making them happen. The only person that is going to stop you from achieving those goals is going to be you. That's it, nobody else. So stay positive, stay away from the negativity, stay away from negative people that tell you what you cannot accomplish. My favorite thing, like I've told you guys through the years, I've had a lot of people tell me, you can't do this can't get done, blah, 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 blah. And my reply has always been the same: watch me. And when you get that accomplished and you do what you said you were going to do, what can they say? They can't say anything because you achieve that goal. So set those goals, start banging them out, and when you get it done, you check it off your list and you move on to the next thing. Really important to do so. So, anyway, guys, please, please, please be safe. Continue to prep. I hope everybody has an awesome and productive weekend. If the weather's turning around for you, I hope you get a chance to get out there and enjoy the weather. Like I said, I know tomorrow is going to be a good day. The weatherman said so he better be right this time. And we're just going to do our thing. All right. We'll see you later. Lots of videos. I'll make a ton of videos this weekend. So you'll see some tomorrow. You'll see, through the beginning part of the week, you're going to see a bunch of videos as well. So I'm going to try to get a bunch of videos up for you guys so you can see what's going on. All right. Have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.